Today on our program, I'm pleased to prepare rustic ciabatta bread. Begin with a clean mixing bowl on a surface you have wiped down. Gather your all-purpose flour and measuring cups. As always, when measuring flour, you should scoop flour into the bigger cup using a smaller spoon or smaller measuring cup and scrape off the top. You may be wondering, why are we adding sugar if this isn't a sweet bread? Well, the sugar is one of the first things that the yeast can snack on, which will improve your leavening process. Speaking of yeast, here they are. Yeast are microorganisms that will chew on the carbohydrate strands of the flour and the sugar. They will create gas, and that gas will get trapped inside the gluten inside of your bread. Once the yeast are waking up, they will start to release some gas in the form of bubbles. Give everything a good mix, ensuring that everything comes together. At this point, add in some olive oil. This is what makes ciabatta bread ciabatta bread. Ciabatta bread was invented in Italy almost as a response to France's French bread, which does not contain olive oil. At this point, we've floured our surface as well as flouring our hands, and we are going to knead the dough for about 10 to 12 minutes or until the dough is smooth and a little bit springy. Little by little, all the flour that you've had on your surface should be incorporated into the dough. If it's still a little bit sticky, you can add even more, but by the end, it should look like this. Go ahead and cover it with a plastic lid or plastic wrap and let it rest for 40 minutes or until it has doubled in size. Look at that, double. Alright, go ahead and punch down that extra air, and we are actually going to cover it again, but this time you can just cover it with a paper towel or a cloth, and we're going to let it rise on the surface again for another 40 minutes. Let's prepare the baking pan by adding some olive oil so that the bread does not stick. If you don't have olive oil, cooking spray will work as well. As this type of ciabatta bread is considered a stirata in Italian, that means pulled and pressed. So let's go ahead and start pulling and pressing our ciabatta bread. This is the third and final rise. I promise, 30 minutes, let it rise, last time. Preheat your oven while you're waiting to 375 degrees. Look at that, it's perfect. There's an easy way to tell when it's ready by thumping on it. Let's listen. Sounds perfect, and look at that bottom, nice. And you're probably wondering what that green thing is on top. That is rosemary from the school garden nonetheless. Just giving it a little decorative flair. Serve with extra salt and olive oil for dipping.